Good morning, I'm Valsa Williams. The headlines. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves 3 highway projects worth over 9,500 crore rupees in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch Mudra Bank today to provide credit of up to 10 lakh rupees to small entrepreneurs. Government to recategorize industries under a 3-coloured scheme depending on their pollution potential. Leading banks SBI, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank cut their lending rates. Uttar Pradesh government sets up 3 high-powered teams to look into the death of farmers. 3 more central teams to visit the state today to assess the loss to farmers due to excessive rain. And in sports, Indian Premier League 2020 cricket tournament kicks off with dazzling opening ceremony. Kolkata Knight Riders to meet Mumbai Indians in opener in Kolkata today. India to take on host Malaysia in their 3rd round-robin match of Sultan Azlan Shah Cup hockey tournament at Ipoh. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs over 9,500 crore rupees in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. It approved 4-laning of the Sultanpur-Varanasi section of National Highway 56 in Uttar Pradesh. This will substantially upgrade Varanasi's connectivity to Lucknow and other parts of central UP. The project will cost around 3,800 crore rupees on this 138-kilometre long stretch of the highway. The CCEA also gave its approval to the 4-laning of the Varanasi to Ghazipur, Gorakhpur and further to Nepal section of National Highway 29 in the state. The 4-laning of this 200-kilometre stretch will have a cost of around 4,400 crore rupees. In another decision, the CCEA gave its nod to the 4-laning of the Madurai-Ramanathapuram section of National Highway 49 in Tamil Nadu. The project will cost approximately 1,400 crore rupees. The CCEA also approved 2 significant foreign investments in the pharmaceutical sector, leading to investment worth rupees 4,187 crores in Aurobindo Pharma and Glenmark Pharmaceuticals Limited. The Union Cabinet has approved amendments to the Real Estate Regulation and Development Bill to protect the interests of millions of consumers and curb malpractices in the real estate sector. The decision was taken at the Cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi yesterday. It also announced 6% hike in the dearness allowance for central government employees and pensioners. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The Real Estate Bill provides for creating a uniform regulatory mechanism across the country and enhance the growth of construction sector. It also seeks to ensure accountability and transparency in the real estate sector. The bill is currently pending in the Rajya Sabha. Through the amendments to the bill, the Cabinet has extended the applicability of the bill to commercial real estate also. Ongoing projects that have not received completion certificates have also been brought under the purview of the bill, and such projects will need to be registered with the regulator within 3 months. The Cabinet also announced 6% hike in the dearness allowance for central government employees and pensioners with effect from 1st of January this year. With this hike, the DA now has gone up to 113% of basic pay from 107%. The decision is expected to benefit 48 lakh government employees and 55 lakh pensioners in the country. With Dipendra, this is Swati Rakheja for AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency Limited Mudra Bank in New Delhi today to provide credit of up to 10 lakh rupees to small entrepreneurs and act as a regulator for microfinance institutions. Our correspondent reports that the bank will be created with a corpus of 20,000 crore rupees and credit guarantee corpus of 3,000 crore rupees.
The roles of Mudra Bank include laying down policy guidelines for micro-enterprise financing business and registration of these institution entities as well as their accreditation and rating. There are about 5.77 crore small business units. Providing access to institutional finance to small business units will not only help in improving the quality of life of these entrepreneurs, but also turn them into strong instruments of GDP growth and employment generation. The initial products and schemes under these umbrella Kerala have already been created, and the interventions have been named Sishu, Kishore and Tarun to signify the stages of growth and funding needs of the beneficiary. Sishu would cover loans up to 50,000 rupees, while Kishore above 50,000 and up to 5 lakh rupees. Tarun category will cover loans of above 5 lakh and up to 10 lakh rupees. With Dipendra Kumar, this is Kampan Chinnam for AIR News, New Delhi.
The centre has decided to recategorize industries into red, orange and green based on pollution potential in order to adopt pollution criteria. Briefing media in New Delhi last evening, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar said a resolution to this effect was adopted at the two-day State Environment and Forest Ministers Conference. He said industries under red category will be given consent to operate with the validity period of 5 years, and industries under orange category will be given consent to operate for 10 years. Mr. Javadekar said industries under green category will be given a one-time consent.
All resolution is already adopted which we are giving, but we have decided to recategorize of industries depending on pollution potential. This is a very important step because based on pollution potential now we will be categorizing, otherwise earlier categorization was not reflecting exactly the potential of the pollution.
The National Green Tribunal NGT yesterday held that all diesel vehicles which are more than 10 years old will not be permitted to ply in Delhi. Noting that diesel is the prime source of air pollution in Delhi, the tribunal said the situation is alarming. A bench headed by NGT chairperson Justice Swatantra Kumar slammed the authorities for not complying with its orders of November the 26th and 28th and December the 4th last year to better the air quality standards of the capital. The tribunal's direction came while hearing a petition of Vardhaman Kaushik, who had contended that the level of particulates in Delhi is rising manifold. This is All India Radio giving you the news. To receive AIR news updates free through SMS in English, you can register on our website www.newsonair.nic.in. You may also register for different languages by typing AIR space language code on your mobile and sending an SMS to 7738 299 899. Major banks, including the State Bank of India, HDFC and ICICI, have announced cut in their lending rates after RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan expressed strong disappointment over non-transmission of policy rates. India's biggest lender, the State Bank of India, has lowered its base lending rate by 0.15 percentage point to 9.85%. The new rate will be effective from the 10th of this month, a move that could bring relief to corporate and retail borrowers. The private sector HDFC Bank also cut lending rate by 0.15% to 9.85% effective from the 13th, while the ICICI Bank announced cutting base lending rate by 0.25 percentage point to 9.75%. A day after the high-level team led by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari made a visit to Agra, Aligarh and Meerut, the centre has deputed 3 more teams which are reaching Lucknow today to assess the loss to farmers in Uttar Pradesh due to the recent hailstorm and excessive rains. These teams will visit the districts of Bundelkhand region, Moradabad and Bareilly divisions and Kanpur and Lucknow divisions. Our correspondent reports that the UP government, amid constant media reports of farmers' suicide across the state, has constituted 3 high-powered teams to find out the truth.
The Union Minister's team, which visited the districts of Western UP yesterday, will hand over its report to Prime Minister by evening today. The team led by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has asked to immediately provide all the relevant details of losses reported from 41 districts of the state. The 3 central teams headed by a Joint Secretary of Agricultural Ministry will make spot visits across the state and prepare its report. Meanwhile, the UP government, which till now had maintained that there is no report of any farmer suicide, has also constituted 3 high-level teams to find out the truth behind over 100 deaths of the farmers in recent weeks. Merajuddin, AIR News, Lucknow.
The total number of Indian evacuees from war-ravaged Yemen has touched the 4,000 mark, with nearly 700 more nationals rescued yesterday. While 600 were evacuated by Air India from Sana'a in 3 flights, over 100 were rescued from Al Hudaydah through sea. The government has said that air evacuation efforts from Sana'a will end today. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin said that those who want to leave should do so by today. Mr. Akbaruddin said that 232 people from 26 countries have also been evacuated by India and further efforts are on. 176 Indian nationals evacuated from Yemen reached Kochi in 2 different flights this morning. 108 people reached the Kochi International Airport in a special Air India flight at 3:30 a.m., while another 68 people arrived by the Indian Air Force flight at 4 a.m. The Indian Air Force's C-17 plane carrying 223 evacuees landed at the Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport in Mumbai last night around 11 p.m., while another plane with 150 passengers on board is reaching Mumbai shortly via Kochi. The 8th edition of the Indian Premier League 2020 cricket tournament kicked off with a dazzling opening ceremony at the Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata last night. In the tournament opener today, defending champions Kolkata Knight Riders will clash with Mumbai Indians at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. The match will begin at 8 p.m. The 8 teams featuring top international players will be involved in an intense battle in the 47-day-long tournament. A total of 60 matches will be played. The final is slated for the 24th of next month at the Eden Gardens. India will take on hosts Malaysia in their 3rd round-robin match of the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup Men's International Hockey Tournament at Ipoh today. The match will begin at 5:40 p.m. Indian time. In the other matches today, Canada will clash with New Zealand at 1:40 p.m. and Australia will meet Korea at 3:40 p.m. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Kampan Chinnam.
Thank you, Valsa. Top banks reducing rates after RBI nudge, end of the road for 10-year-old diesel vehicles, and the killing of 20 sandalwood smugglers by Andhra cops dominate the press today. The Business Standard writes, banks bow to RBI pressure. The Asian states, Rajan forces banks to signal lower EMIs. National Green Tribunal banning decade-old diesel vehicles in Delhi and NCR is widely noticed. The Indian Express headline said, Death by Breath, Green Tribunal acts. The Hindu reports, 20 woodcutters from Tamil Nadu gunned down by Andhra Pradesh police. The Indian Express comments, in cold blood in 2 states, adding 5 terror suspects were also shot dead on way to court in Telangana, 3 days after 4 policemen were shot dead by alleged Simi activists. The Times of India writes, Cabinet clears creation of real estate regulator, but tribunal's powers to punish builder diluted. Hindustan Times special feature reports, child labour law set to be relaxed to allow children below the age of 14 to work in select family enterprises if it doesn't hamper their education. The Hindu states Jammu and Kashmir to create separate zones for Kashmiri Pandits, a move seen by many as the creation of a state within a state. The Tribune notices in a bonanza to over 1 crore central government employees and pensioners, the cabinet has hiked the dearness allowance by 6% to 113% of their basic pay with effect from January. The Pioneer carries a story of road rage victim Shahnawaz having himself made a call to the PCR on Sunday night but was left to die as staff of 3 police stations bickered over jurisdiction. And finally, the Hindu and the Pioneer inform Telecom Regulatory Authority of India recommends 112 on the lines of America's 911 as a single emergency phone number accessible even when outgoing call facility is suspended on a phone. And with that, it's back to you, Valsa.
Thank you, Kampan, for a review of today's newspapers. In some more news, in Assam, voting has begun for the 40-member Bodoland Territorial Council. Polling is being held in Kokrajhar, Chirang, Baksa and Udalguri districts. Our correspondent reports that overall 80 companies of security forces have been deployed in Bodoland territorial areas and the Indo-Bhutan border has been sealed. And now, before we wrap up the headlines once again, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves 3 highway projects worth over 9,500 crore rupees in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch Mudra Bank today to provide credit of up to 10 lakh rupees to small entrepreneurs. Government to recategorize industries under a 3-coloured scheme depending on their pollution potential. Leading banks SBI, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank cut their lending rates. Uttar Pradesh government sets up 3 high-powered teams to look into the death of farmers, 3 more central teams to visit the state today to assess the loss to farmers due to excessive rain. And in sports, Indian Premier League 2020 cricket tournament kicks off with dazzling opening ceremony. Kolkata Knight Riders to meet Mumbai Indians in opener in Kolkata today. And India to take on host Malaysia in their 3rd round-robin match of Sultan Azlan Shah Cup hockey tournament at Ipoh. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.